OK， 回完讯息了，那我们进去吧。
Let's go. Soiree started.
Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find this Intrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. As soon as we find her, we find him.
道理。
Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
艺术社群艺术家准备的表演。这里有什么表演？
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone,
What?
would surely be a
表演已经结束
diamond.
了。
Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. You would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusions, come to us from far off Afir.
视觉幻
Visual
术大
illusions. Interesting.
大师。
And the third artist?
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are the Tuven brothers,
最新的
presenting their
童话
newest pantomime.
我要找
We were really
瑟
hoping
西
to
利
meet
亚
Cecilia
贝兰
Belont.
You are admirers, I surmise.
没
I'm
错
certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
科维尔的兰花。
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
OK，
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless.
说
All
的也
would
是
know her anyway.
Kaveri orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian. 可以换装备吗？现在无法这么做。找有一朵兰花的。
Go on, Geralt, be bold. Show us the artist in you. The paintballs, cast them at the canvas.
谁都能成为艺术家。哎呦，不好玩哦！来，创作天分的蓝色球丢。 丢，来看看我的艺术天分吧。他有办法切吗？没办法这么做。丢油漆，紫色饮料球，丢，丢， 丢。黄色颜料球。
Yes, sure to be a masterpiece.
这一定是杰作，没错，做的都是杰作。只是我刚刚红色颜料球不见了。这跟鸡蛋大作战一样。丢，完成了。
The painting depicts spiritual dualism, the continual battle between good and evil, and defiance.
我只是随便丢啦。
It's him, all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature.
And defiance.
我只是随便丢啦，随便丢丢就成了杰作了，厉害不？
Such talent. Exceptional true. Would I ever love to return? With a shame.
Need I remind you?
Absent
用
the
苦艾
preferred hooch
酒
of artists.
Careful. It packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
哦，晕！怎么这么多可以玩的啊？啊，这个是什么？哦，默剧哦。有一朵兰花的女性，兰花。等一下，我看一下还有什么可以玩的。
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
谢了吧。
Schmefont-God. It's all about two things: coin and copulation.
技术赞助者，舞台剧剧本片段。
How beautiful. The dolphins. That is no ordinary illusion. The man is a true artist.
Impressive.
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
放天灯，
Fine.
放
Let's give it a try.
点燃，
Never suspected you believed in such things.
起飞。还有什么可以玩？有兰花吗？没有。魅惑双银器。有兰花的女性。
You should have.
It seems someone decided otherwise.
We are busy.
看来不是你。抱歉，打扰了。
It's an outrage, Cecilia. But are you sure it's an original?
My employer swears it.
Please leave. This is a private alcove.
抱歉，我来寻找一个人呐、锁住了。啊？头发上插着一朵兰花。你有插兰花吗？没有。你呢？看不到。没有。
Cecilia should have performed tonight.
都很快。
It seems someone decided otherwise.
你呢？应该不是。不是。没有。在哪里呢？没有。 头发有兰花吗？哦，你直接不用那个面具在哪里呀？这么多人，有走来走去的。要是有那个 Master Mirror 的那个时间暂停就好了。头上插着一朵兰花，都戴帽子比较多啊。没看到有什么插着兰花的画家。
You must stir off the madness of war. Venture beyond the bounds of cognition. Color is but the shadow.
走回来了。不是你。
It seems soft.
哇，好难。 醉汉，哎，在画画，
Do not disturb.
是
Shoo,
你
shoo.
呀、
It's
这
the right
朵花没
flower.
有错。
Of course it is. A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still. You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
We came here to meet
来
you
找你的。
specifically.
To meet me? But
喂，
Centurion Noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Centurion Noble. Ah, you must think I'm Cecilia.
你不是
Orchid
吗？
confused me.
I told you not to move.
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift. A heart-shaped box.
心形的盒
Then
子，
they strolled off together towards the refreshment
饮
table.
料桌走过去。
Excuse me, madame, monsieur. I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
OK， 马上离开，马上离开。辛特拉斯坦，看应该是在这个圈圈。心形的盒子。哎，
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beat him with it once.
这里
Empty heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Cyprian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it.
跟随着气味吧。
It is irrelevant to the work's ultimate meaning.
It must be someone famous, I tell you. Such talent. Exceptional.
一定要绕一圈吗？
Aren't they even? Because the right cuff seems somewhat higher to
在
me.
这里。
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come, we must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh! Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
硬要讲哎，别告诉别人你看到我们了。
We can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
你看见瑟西利亚贝兰提了吗？
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
慢条
Must
斯
be
理。
him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs.
这么急干什么？找到你了！
That
哇，
must be
被杀死
Cecilia.
了！
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana at once. She should bring her soiree to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Get up, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help. 检视一下。
Killed her, then went out on the balcony.
"这些都是证物，我要带回去调查。
Tore down the door. Made a platform. Clever. Must be pretty strong, too. Bloody handprint. It's his.
他的。隔壁间锁住了。
Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it hard, then sank to the floor.
这是谁的房间啊？
Bloodstains.
血迹。
Links at a snap chain.
链子。
Jewel must have been on it.
贵重
Precious
书法。
stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this. Must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewelry box. Locks busted. Picked open, probably. Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like.
装饰漂亮的猎刀。
Hunting knife. Richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for.
烛台。
Sconce is bent. Smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it? Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window.
掉出去的话
Fall
必
had to have
死
killed
无
them.
疑。
Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Yep.
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything, in full detail.
好哦。
I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked.
所以你目
He struck
击
his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding,
他
dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He...
Fell out of the window.
Just so.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it, many years ago, from a young woman.
这珠宝有那么重要吗？
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
哦，有人准备好了，就是要偷这个。
The heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead,
哇，
perhaps.
线索，又是线索。
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of
盾
knights,
上有文章
though the
讲
latter
到，
term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
我得去调查看看哪里有
Oriana,
什么。
everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
怪怪的哦。你怎么看欧丽安娜？
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
那幅画看起来有点眼熟啊。
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Son Real and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
合理。
It could be something else altogether.
哇，开始展现懦弱的一面。
My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers. She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
她为什么被驱逐出境？
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
诅咒。
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil because they were born during the wrong lunar phase?
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Siana.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She could also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day.
Wow.
In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since.
你觉得这跟她有关系吗？
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here, that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift, at a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl. Someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen, or recovered. It's my sister. It must be.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries?
说不定真的是这样哦。
Could be right.
所以你有姐姐，你怎么不早讲？
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Duntine, and if Siana is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
我不能给你什么保证。
Can't guarantee her safety, unfortunately. Especially if she's one of those responsible for these crimes.
Witcher, that was not a request.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire. We are lending our combined resources to the Witcher's hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for ages, literally.
哎呦，你们有私交哦。
Witcher, I hear you know Regis too, even that you are friends.
没错，你很惊讶吗？
Seem surprised. Why?
I never would have suspected Regis to find common ground with a Witcher.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. For what might a monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
跟人类一样。
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least
没
try.
错，
Enough about the witcher trait for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith. An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher, and the Duchess of Toussaint. My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detloff here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you were gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detloff believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore. That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renner.
你怎么知道
Oriana.
Oriana 的？
She really your friend? Can she be trusted?
I met her years ago, before I met you, and before she settled in Beauclair. We'd not seen one another in... I can't begin to tell you in how long. But I shall tell you all about her some other day.
原来这里只是巧合
Guessing
吗？
it's no accident you two stopped by.
It would be quite some coincidence indeed. No, a dutiful little bird
又
told
是
us.
乌鸦。我大概知道勒
Now
索者
listen
在。
close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntime Castle.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renner must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there too. Thing is, she might be involved. Could be behind the blackmailing.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the castle?
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Detloff, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got a way with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detloff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
没
I
错，
hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Detloff. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Detlaff. Ah, I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
这么会讲话。
gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish the second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out?
走吧。
You have exceptional friends. This Detlef, an intriguing man to say the least.
向他介绍了你自己。
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
今晚相当愉快啊。
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count de la Croix Mill. It stands along the Saône Retour River, near the Cockatrice Inn. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight. You shall storm the castle together.
你确定不是找人监视我吗？好哦，攻下一城，午夜后，跟拉阔斯伯爵的模仿啊，在拉阔斯伯爵的模仿与戴米恩会面。好，就先解到这里吧。剩下的下礼拜再继续。今天玩的超久的。 我再继续这样玩下去，应该很快就破关了。好了，让我休息一下，然后吃个晚饭，等下一样10点开 DVD， 就这样啦。好，先吃个饭。才刚开绘图软体哦，你看看你是不是一直不想工作，到现在才想开？ 啊，好啦，剩20分钟，让我吃个饭吧，我等下再开，还是我要挂着？呵呵。